Viewers, it's about 4 this afternoon and we are almost starting the installation, and I want to engage Jerry as we start this installation. You're going to become president, and we are also celebrating the 30 years of the Rock. It's a huge reflection for us tonight, especially as the alumni. We believe that you're holding our torch, yeah? And while you're holding our torch, you're also holding the past and the future together. What do you anticipate for the night? We're starting in the next few hours. What do you anticipate to see? Who has confirmed? We all know George will not be coming, and may his soul rest in peace, our charter president, George Walusimbi Mpanga. I also would like to send my condolences to his family and to the district governor, past district governor Hatim Karimji, who made this club look very, very beautiful by the sponsorship of the Ryla that I was president on. But as we look onto the past and we reflect to the future, President-elect Jerry is getting the chain today, and there are a few people that you expect to come. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I'm excited, I should say. Good. That. I'm lost for words. Actually, it's the alumni, the past presidents, they helped organize this event. And I was a bit skeptical, I'm like, but will the alumni really come? Because they have not really been around.
Yes.
And sometimes I would fault the immediate past presidents. I'm like, but you people, somehow you went and abandoned the club.
Yes.
However, when the conversations kept going on, we realized we have over 20 past presidents and alumni, yes, confirming to come. So it's really
20 past presidents have confirmed to come. Wow, that's
out
wonderful.
of the 29. So it was something great.
Wow, that's
and
wonderful.
Some of these are coming from different districts, others are flying in. So I'm excited.
Wow.
I'm excited. And
well, the Rock at 30 is one of those very interesting things, because the Rock became the Rotary Club of Kampala Central only 2 years after the mother club had just been chartered. So imagine there's not very many Rotary clubs that are in our position. And Jerry here gets the opportunity to take that big, big crown on his head tonight. Watch out for this show tonight as we install Jerry as the incoming president of the Rotary Club of Kampala Central, but also as we celebrate the 30 years at the Rock.
Past President Daniel Nachivingi is my name, from the Rotary Club of Kampala Central. Today we are celebrating the beginning of 30 years of service. Our club was birthed in 1996 and it has now been in existence for all those years. Today we are commemorating and starting to celebrate the 30 years of existence of our club. That's why we have this installation. We have added an installation and sometimes it's charter night. 2 in 1. Because at the end of the day, we're installing the 30th president who's going to take us through the 30 years of existence. Today, we are putting together a lot of things. We are celebrating a lot of achievements from the past. We have a lot of alumni in the building, a lot of past presidents, and also Mother Club is with us today. So we're going to have a lot of activities going forward. We're going to have medical camps in this year. We're going to have different projects, not forgetting our very own, the Beneza project and the Xmaika Water project, all the way in Kasese. But we're going to add in other activities so that we can celebrate the 30 years in style, with President Jeremiah taking us on the steering wheel. At the end of the day, we'll call you back to share with you the success of over the 30 years of existence of Kampala Central.
My name is Rotarian John Tulusime, the current Youth Service Chair for Rotary Club of Kampala Central, a past president of Rotary Club of Kampala Central 2011-2012. I'm proud to celebrate 30 years, and in my leadership, I have seen the club grow. Even when I crossed on to their mother club, I've been supportive to the club, and I hope this celebration brings a lot of energy in the next 50 years ahead, and may the club also have more meaningful projects to carry out and serve the community and perhaps serve the nation through different ventures. Thank you.
Tonight we celebrate leadership. We celebrate 30 years of very strong leadership. What we call the ROC is the Rotary Club of Kampala Central that has been in existence for 30 years. And tonight these young people have come out to say we exist and we have been here for 30 years in leadership. Welcome with me the Rotary Club of Kampala Central, my club, where I was a president in 2006. This club is amazing because it has made me who I am. Presidents that start from the late George Walusimi Panga to the sitting president today. George had a vision for the ROC and it came to be as charter president. He made sure that we were recruited to the club. I was recruited by President Farida. I was groomed by President Hassan Saleh. I was groomed by so many of the past presidents that have been in this club. The Rotary Club of Kampala Central has been existing for 30 years, but a few highlights of the things that I can remember. We had what we called a project that was in Mukono, where we used to go in Songa and treat people. It was so amazing for me when the first time I attended this project because we were able to treat over 1,000 people in Songa in Mukono district. The second thing I remember that I started was the skilling project called YELP. And today I will tell you this project still exists. Today they are working on skilling students in Lubiri High School. But then they have gone ahead and worked on so many other projects. They have a project for children, and we shall hear the president talk about it later as we interview him. We shall also hear about their project in Kasese that is going to take over $10,000 to build a library, toilets, and they will also be able to build the Dutch school where they're going to put these establishments. But Rotaract, I want to remind you, is between 18 to 35 years. So if your child is at home, sitting at home, and you're not very sure how they are managing their time, I think this is the place to be. Rotaract is a good place for grooming. I am the leader I am, or the person I am, because I managed to join Rotaract. Welcome to the Rotary Moment Show. Tonight, we highlight the Rotary Club of Kampala Central as they celebrate 30 years of leadership.
All protocol observed. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like us to stand up for the grace. And I humbly request that we recite the grace together. For what we are about to receive, may the good Lord make us truly thankful and ever mindful of the needs of others. Amen.
Let's get hold of our drinks. No drinks. As we toast to the good health of the President of the Republic of Uganda.
Yes, my name is Mayobi Hassan. Let's go through the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair at all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you. You may resume your seats as I read through the goals of Rotaract. 1, to develop professional and leadership skills. 2, to emphasize respect for the rights of others and promote ethical standards and the dignity of all useful occupations. 3, to provide young people with an opportunity to address the needs and concerns of the community and our world. 4, to promote an opportunity for working in cooperation with the sponsoring Rotary Club. And lastly, to motivate young people who are in this fellowship today to eventually into Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The youngest population in Uganda are the youth. 65% of those occupy the biggest part of the population in Uganda. Now, where I'm seated right now are those people that contribute the biggest part of the country. But then I would like to sample on the leadership path. Are we ready for these young people to take leadership? Like I introduced the show, they have been in leadership for 30 years. And the 30 years that we have seen, they have done different things. I want to introduce a young man that I've been very impressed with because I saw him work at the district level, and he's been part and the organizer for this 30 years of The Rock. He's also a member of this Rotary Club. Nashu, welcome to the Rotary Moment Show. I want to congratulate you first of all for the wonderful, wonderful things that you're doing for the club. I think for me, I'm very, very impressed that you're taking leadership outside the club.
Sure.
You're sharing what other people should say, and I hope they're learning from you.
Of course.
If they're not learning from you, then The Rock will do a lot of that. I want to punch into, and I'll come from the district, because I saw you at the district conference.
Yeah,
you hustled with your night.
Yes.
You hustled, and it was a beautiful night.
Well, success at the end of the day.
And tonight you have also pulled us a wonderful night. I see about 250 people in the room.
Yes.
What pushes you? And while I was speaking to the viewers, I was talking about young leaders in the country. What is that message we should be giving to young people? Because when I talk about Rotary Club, I talk about 18 and 35. And we have a laxity of people wanting to take on roles and wanting to do the different things. How do we push young people to get to this level?
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for once again being here with you. It's always a pleasure to be with Rotary Moment, and I enjoy being here because we dialogue a lot about youth, and I think we impact the society. Now, let's start with what pushes me. I think I would say I am self-made.
Yeah.
Very many youth right now look up to someone and look up to something. Me, the bad is me, the good is me. It's on my parents, on my upbringing. I always try and focus narrow. I pick from this side, then I see what do I take in as me. Because realize that right now, the youth, we're taking in everything and anything that comes our way. We are told this works, we just go with that.
Yeah.
We're told this works, we just go with that. But if you know who you are and you try to self-discover yourself, I am more of I won't call myself a perfectionist, but I want things to move.
Which is not every young person,
Yeah, true. And if I say, I'm going to do A, I want to do A, whether I'm benefiting or I'm not benefiting.
Yes.
Because I look at myself in this picture of, at this age, I should not be where maybe I was, give an example, where Sudil is, because it's maybe way older, but I should be able to pull off what he can do.
Down the tunnel that I will be able to be that.
And I should be able to pull off what he can do.
That's very good precision.
At I would say lesser cost or lesser influence, but the energy should match up. And I think that's what the youth should have. They should always match up the energies, because we can do more. Right now we're into artificial intelligence. We have everything on our table.
My language.
ChatGPT is there, because before, people before would write stories and you have to read a book, and now something can read to you a book.
Yes.
Now I don't like reading books. Now what I do, I go and listen to someone read for me a book. So there's no way around it. We have to do it.
Yes.
And if we put the energy there, then yes, every youth can do it.
I invite John Benjamin, our treasurer. Benjamin.
DJ, you give them a song as they are.
Yes, they should start dancing. So Benjamin was our treasurer, and he did a very good job. We now have audited books of accounts for the last 2 years, and that's how we're able to qualify for the district grant. Thank you very much for making this happen. Thank you, Benjamin.
President Gladys, I request that at least that young man takes a picture with a guest of honor, since this is a chance that he has gotten.
Okay.
Actually, all the board members.
I'll invite the guest of honor to come and give the award.
Keeping books is not something easy, especially keeping books for young people.
President Marion, you're a stone throw away to end of your term. And you've been very instrumental to seeing this club grow where it is. I mean, this club managed to organize an entire night on their own, the first night, and I was very impressed. Let's talk about the support that you as Mother Club give and how the last 30 years, you know, you reflect on the last 30 years, and maybe the rest of the team will tell us what we should be looking forward to.
Great. So, as I've been introduced, I'm the magical president, Marion, the 32nd president of the Rotary Club of Kampala Central.
Yes.
So the ROC, which is Rotaract Kampala Central, is 30 years old.
Yes.
So it was chartered just 2 years after.
2 years after, yes.
After we were chartered. And in my year, I was very deliberate about supporting. I made that commitment when I attended their charter night.
Yes.
And installation. And over the past 11 months, next month will be the 12th month, we have made sure that we collaborate. Sustainability is very important because that's how an entity grows.
My name is Annie Munwebo. I was president of Rotary Club of Kampala Central 2008 to 2009.
After my president, I think.
Yeah, I like working with the youth. So I've been engaged with Rotaract on several projects, especially during my year. We had a project to distribute wheelchairs in the Rukwanga community.
Yes.
It was a project of the Rotary Club of Membo. But we partnered with them and distributed these chairs, working with the Rotaractors, the Rotary Club, the ROC.
You are a past president for the ROC and president of Kampala Central Rotary. Those are two different views of leadership. Can we reflect on that? And then before you hand over the mic to past president, what is that thing that you learned between the two? Being president of this club and president of your present Rotary Club.
Thank you. At the Rotaract level, I only reached vice presidency before I left. When Age edged me out, but I was a vice president to President Prosi, not Juma. So I did not become a president. They denied me the opportunity because of age.
Yes.
By then, RI was very strict on the age of 30. And I had taken 2 years out of the club when I transferred to Rotaract Club of Nairobi Central, when I was going to work in Nairobi. But it's an interesting space. Of course, I look at their generations. Then is not now. When we were in Rotaract with you, Carol, there was a very big generational gap. Right now, Rotaractors are acting mature, doing mature stuff. We were not doing that.
No,
we were not. We were not. And it's not because that RI has now opened up that they can do global grants and what. No, it had nothing to do with that. It was the cognitive sense of the age. But now the world has changed that even a 29-year-old who is in Rotaract thinks mature, does mature, has the money, is no longer dependent. We were so dependent on Rotarians then.
Thank you, Carol. I served my club as president, having served before as a Rotaractor. And our times as Rotaractors was different, and a lot has changed in the perception of Rotary International. Rotaract used to be a project of Rotary, so ideally Rotaract clubs would be serving under a Rotary club. this has since changed and we are equal partners now. And this is a good thing. Clubs have embraced it, and you find Rotary clubs, including this one, contributing handsomely to the Rotary Foundation, but also running projects, successful projects that are impacting communities. So for me, what I really wanted to see was the transition of leadership from the hope-creating year to the magical year, and then to the next one. I'm glad that I've attended these events, but even before the installations, I've had a chance to visit the club once in a while to see how they are doing. I did a training for the outgoing board members. I had an interaction with them, and I'm very glad to see that much of the things they plan to achieve, they have achieved them, but also that they have been able to bring members together, induct new members, and grow the club. From the stories we've had today, they have had their downs and the ups, and we are very glad that they have been able to surpass all that and grow the club and move it forward. So I really wish the incoming president all the best in his term of leadership, and I know that the club is going to grow from strength to strength, and they are going to impact communities even more.
To the youth director, you who is in the leadership of ensuring that young people are groomed, the sustainability to this fraternity of young people, the Rotractors. Let's reflect on that. And that, I think, for me is a huge highlight for us today as we celebrate the 30 years of the Rock.
Thank you so much. When I was appointed to be a youth director in this Rotary year, one of the things I put to the current leadership at ROC was structure, able membership, and governance. And before we took on our role, I had to do basic training, information that I need. And I was using it as a background because I'm a former Rotractor, a past president of the club. I knew the challenges, and I wanted to come on board when the path is clear. And with that, it helped me. And by the time I started taking on my leadership, our goals, our plan had been laid up. And even when we're executing the programs under Youth Docket, my president, who was supporting me, knew that I was the right person to guide them. The bit about Rotract, when you're a former Rotractor, you understand their needs.
Yes, you do.
When you understand their needs, it's easy to communicate to the board of a Rotary Club, help them achieve what they want.
Thank you very much, MC, and thank you very much for that kind introduction. He forgot the school. He says Nabisunsa, but it was Trinity College, Nabingo.
Oh, yeah.
So I was there for 6 years, and I was also the head prefect of that school when we were together. Thank you so much. Okay, so friends, what a beautiful evening. The memory lane was very touching. And what a unique way to do it, that we hear from our previous earlier leaders and those who have laid the foundation of this great club. Allow me, first of all, to wish you a very happy birthday. 30 years and going is not small. And indeed, the results, when I checked in the Rotary Club Central, I was very, very happy because the 30 years are very well accounted for because you've achieved all your goals for this Rotary year. Congratulations. Now, next to me are two great leaders. Our President, Gladys, congratulations.
The alumni of the Rotary Club of Kampala Central, the Rock. Everybody you see on this table has been in this club. Some have been leaders, but personally, we organize the same thing you guys organize at district dinner. We were the first Rotract club to organize over 1,000 Rotractors to go to an island and have a Ryla organized by Retractors, and the first riler, one of the biggest rilers. I think for me that's a highlight of my year. Yes, there might be other things, but that was the highlight. Yes, which was wonderful. Which was wonderful. So for me as a leader, I feel I was elevated at that level at that time, which is what gave me the shot to DRR. The rest of the things, I think I was just being a normal young woman leading. Now I want to go to Fred.
Like this?
Yes. What do you remember in your year? What year were you a leader?
I joined 2005.
Yes.
Till about 2013, I think.
Yes.
2013, which was the year I left Rotaract.
Yes.
It's probably my highlight.
Yes.
Okay, I have many, but the one that you said that sticks.
That sticks out.
In that year, we started React.
React.
I think some of the people here know what React is. The Rotaract East Africa project, impact project.
Yeah.
We mobilize Rotaractors from across the East African region.
Yeah.
So that one in 2013 was in Masaka. Those days Rotaract was not as bougie as it is now.
Yes.
So we charged 20,000 shillings, and the guys who visited from the various countries slept at my house.
Okay.
So they slept at my house. Then we went to Masaka in the morning. Slept in a place of 20,000, and that was 2013, right? So this year we've celebrated 10 years, and we're in Bujumbura. Yeah, we're in Bujumbura a couple of weeks ago.
This segment is rock down the
so,
the road.
So it gives me a lot of pleasure to see that 10 years later, what we started charging for 20,000 shillings, people are now charging $100.
Wow.
And people are attending.
For React, it's $100. Wow. Well, I think for me, as past president puts on the mic, the other thing I remember about my year is YEP. I am told to this day YEP is still there. YEP is still going on. We are still skilling, so I'm very proud to have started that. Please.
I was president in 2009-2010. My name is Helen Akuri. Yeah, and my highlight during that time was Break-a-Leg. We started during that time. And Brian, I remember, was the brainwork behind it. So Break-a-Leg was such a great idea because it put us on, it made us popular as a club. We had so many clubs interested in the Break-a-Leg project, and so the attendance became better, our fellowships, and we started seeing money coming in. And also during that time is when we thought about tuning with Kenyan clubs. Yeah, we made friends with, what was the name of the RCAC, yes. And we actually traveled to Kenya.
Wonderful.
And we had joint projects. Yes, so we began having those international relationships. I remember we also traveled to Rwanda. Yeah, so those were my highlights.
Wonderful. NASA.
My name is Abdul Nasser, President Rotary year 2021. That year was very unique in its own way. But despite COVID, my main aim and focus was to keep rock up. So despite COVID, we did manage to do. What was outstanding is that we joined us with our sister clubs. Nakawa, and then Cape Munyonyo. We did a project at Adak, that project in Kulu, where we brought and we plastered classroom blocks. Even though we are in COVID, we used to send money to Kulu, then they do the project, they send us pictures, and Alan got the chance and travel to Kulu to see the progress. That was Adak. Then we also took YEP to school. It was the first time, I think, after so many years, we took YEP to school, because it was in communities. So it was in my year when we took YEP to the club of Global High.
I remember.
It was so meaningful. From then on, we have adopted that school.
and every year we go there back, and they welcome us in the camp. So another project was about the dental camp. It was with other clubs, and we just had a big number. We did 2 phases in the areas of Cheban. We went there twice. Even though it was COVID, but it was towards the end of COVID,
yeah.
When they had released.
Joyce, past president, 2014, 2016. And the one moment that I can talk about in my year, first of all, by the time I joined, I found when rock membership had really deteriorated.
Okay.
And it was the struggle to bring people to fellowship. And this is where we could host fellowship, and we could hardly have a handful of people to come and join us for fellowship because our membership had really gone down. And also during that same year, that is the time when we were really challenged by the location, the venue. Our venue was at the time when they were demolishing Centenary Park, that's all that was there. So we struggled a lot, looking for space, and at the same time we had to boost the membership to regain back. But after that long struggle, I just thank God that our membership came back through. We revived the house hospitalities, which we are no longer doing.
Yeah.
And also as a president, I introduced luncheons every Sunday at my home.
Ooh,
just to make
this is the president! This is the president! Okay.
So, bringing back all that, it helped us rebuild our membership. And also in that same year, I really geared my team, and we could visit clubs together. We post, and then we get like 5 people. We storm a club. It helped us build relations with other clubs. So we reached a time when every time we are doing fellowship, our room was full to capacity.
Wow.
Because of the few drives. So basically in my year, I looked at membership as my goal. And I really achieved it. I achieved it very much because at the district level, Rock was second in terms of membership after Natet.
Wow.
So that's the highlight.
This was even before the redistricting, yeah? Wonderful.
The Rotary International President, on behalf of District Governor Ann Nkutu, I request all of you to be upstanding at this moment when we decorate our President with a chain as the 30th President of this great club, the Rotaract Club of Kampala Central. So we'll put this chain over you, and Diara will help us.
This is General Oz alongside Radio and Wisdom, and this is going out to
Okay, so now we do have a president in the house. Congratulations, Dr. Jeremiah Kwesiga, as the 30th president of our club. Congratulations. Well done. In the same spirit, I'll request for the instruments of power and authority to be handed over to President Francis Wanji. Oh, sorry, okay. Please join us here. Thank you. President Francis was an outstanding Hope Creator president, and I'd like you to talk about the use of these instruments of power and request the president to test out the gong. Thank you.
Thank you, MD Kate. My name is Francis Wanji from Mother Club. I'll talk about these 2 instruments. They are instruments of power that show that you are in charge. They give you the authority to hold meetings and call members to order. And you'll use these instruments to ensure that the club is running well and the meetings are being held in the right way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pass on the gong to the president so he can test out. and we see whether, okay. Wow, congratulations, President. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Where's the club secretary or past president to help us with this? Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, once the president steps in State House, there should be enough bodyguards. The club certificate. Oh, wonderful. Wow, what an organized club. In this box, we have the registration documents, the club certificate, and everything. Visiting Rotaractors and Rotarians, this is the place to learn. We have been to many clubs installing presidents, but there's literally nothing to hand over.
Then there was that other project which had water filters, which we partnered with Muyenga.
Yes.
And would give clean water, which you didn't need to boil and what. So you just needed the water filter.
Yes, I remember that, yes.
So and from it started with Muyenga and the Rock, and it went to many clubs. So to me, it was not just my year, but it overflowed to
I think for me, when Brian speaks, he's giving me an emotional journey that I probably might even have forgotten, but I think those are wonderful memories. And the question I have for you as viewers who are watching us is, what is your child's fallback? When your child talks about the friends they have or the company they keep, what is their fallback? Do they have friends like past President Brian is talking about? Would they associate with such a group of young people? And tonight we celebrate youth, we celebrate 30 years of youth. And the young people that you see here, again, I repeat, the time they did all this, they were below 30. And the things that you hear us talking about were celebrated at that time. So when you are watching, as you watch us speak about this journey, the memory lane down this journey of the Rock, does your child who is sitting next to you associate? Now I want to go to Adrian, the world's most famous photographer, entertainer, the events manager or service provider, you know? Adrian.
Thank you. Thank you, viewers. I'm Adrian Mugombe, and I was the president in 2016. I had people saying they were hijacked. I was hijacked because it was just supposed to be first. He decided to go up country, and I had to jump in there. Yeah. And I want to thank. I found a good year already. Joyce had done the good part for me.
Yes.
So I brought in the vibe.
Yeah.
And that's me. So Fred said he left in 2013. And then I joined in 2014, but the trick of making me join is it took me for React. And I told myself I'm not leaving Rotaract. The fun I had, I was like, no, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So now to 2016, I became a president, and then I did the first thing of this, the first of this kind that I did was Mother Club had decided to mother so many clubs. Especially Interact clubs.
Yes.
So what I did with it was Rotarian Wanji, that time was this service director, the past president of Kampala Central was this director. So we went around and looked for all the Interact clubs. We took them to one school. Actually, we even went to Simbe Flower Farm, did a vocational tour and career guidance. And then the highlight of it, students, it was the dance in the afternoon. I don't think they remember the. And then Brian just talked about break a leg. So because of the kind of person I am, vibe, I like fun, I find break a leg. I'm like, wow.
Yes.
This is a lovely project.
So we did a lot of YEP, okay, which started with you.
Yes.
One of the highlights I think for YEP, for me, was that YEP moved from being at Centenary Park, where we had Rotaractors that some of them were not showing up at the time. We brought in community members, but it moved away from Centenary Park into the community, okay? Yeah. And I'd like to credit Rotarian Anne Munywevu, because during that time, she brought on the community in, I think it's Chiwanga, in in Machindi,
Yeah.
from her church area. Okay, so there was training in that YEP training together with Telesat International that offered us the skilling, and we had mothers, grandmothers.
Whoa.
We had grandchildren
Whoa.
graduating with certificates.
Yes.
So YEP moved from skilling and you go and do your practice,
Yeah.
but certification.
Certification,
became.
yeah.
I think that was a highlight for that time, and I am really hopeful that could be something that we pick up. That even those that never got an opportunity to go to school or never had an opportunity to skill and have some kind of certification that moves them to the next level, something to be proud of. That was the
Can
opportunity.
use that certification.
Yeah, so that was the opportunity.
What are your memories of the club, and what is that highlight you can never forget? What is that moment as president, DRR, Rotary president, you can never forget and say, I think I'm glad to be at the Rock because of this and this?
You know, thank you, Caro. My name is Alan Ntambi. Interestingly, I joined this club when I was already an ADRR, Assistant District Rotary Representative. I'd been a president at University of Chisubi. And then Charles here, Charles here was elected president. So Charles named me his vice president. After naming his board, and Charles went away for work. So as vice president, I had to take lead, making sure we had an installation like this. Charles appeared on the installation day.
Oh my God.
At around, I think at around 3 p.m. We picked, he came from the airport, straight to the function. He got installed, and 1 week later, he was on the flight back to wherever he was going. But it was all interesting. So I was an assistant district Rotary representative, and other days of the week I would be an ADRR asking clubs for report and all that. Then on Thursday I would be putting on a chain as president at Kampala Central.
Yeah.
It was all interesting. And Charles kept coming in once in a while until he completely disappeared. But he was kind enough to make sure it's not me handing over. He made sure it's him handing over. So he flew back again on the installation day of another president for him to hand over. Quite interesting, but it was a fantastic year. And to me, while I talk about that, I learned the power of delegation. The power of leadership and growth.
Yes.
Because the first goal of Rotaract is to develop professional leadership skills. It's what brings us here cardinally.
Which he was cordially doing.
So indeed, that was a very big opportunity.
Yes.
And Kampala Central is actually a force to reckon with. And when we circle back, when we look back to our alumni, we have, I think it's high time companies and ministries and different organizations come to pay homage to Kampala Central, because I mean, talk about Ministry of Finance. We've given them the astute people like Sem Goma. There is Jita Alan.
Yes, Alan Jita.
In Ministry of Finance, companies like Sipla Quality Chemicals, their Chief Finance Officer, Fred Kakoza, is our past president. Yeah. So, I mean, we have met Hassan Saleh at Malchoice. I think
the African woman in tech is Carol Kakoza.
Exactly, Carol Kakoza here. So, while we have these conversations, and to the young people out there, I usually say that Rotaract is a leadership incubator.
Thank you very much. I think for me, if your young man or lady is not speaking the same language that we are speaking today, then I think it's about time they join Rotaract. For the conversations we've just had, I think they are beautiful, they're wonderful, but all the leaders you've just seen are or were below 30 years. Alan here is still below 30. So as a Rotractor, they're celebrating. Thank you very much for going down memory lane with us.
I told them, why should we stress? And one of the reassuring things they always told me is that they were like, this is the rock. We are going to pull this off. Sit back and relax. And I must say, I'm really overwhelmed. I'm really overwhelmed, and this must be one of the greatest moments in our club's history. 30 years. 30 years of existence. I don't think we have any member who's about 30 years. Yeah, we don't have any member. Check your files.
It's always amazing to interview a young person who is taking leadership. Welcome with me, Jerry Kwesiga, who is now the president of the Rotaract Club of Kampala Central, my club that I hold very dear, that has made me who I am, and I will forever and ever be indebted to this club for making me the person I am. Congratulations, Jerry, on becoming president of the Rock. I know that it seems like a huge weight on you, especially after seeing the alumni and the things that they have achieved. But as we talk about those, I want you to do you. I want you to do what you can, because as young people we push you to go to your limits, but to greater heights. But there are things that you can do, and then those that you might want somebody to handhold. Let's talk about your year. What are you going to do, and what are those things we can expect?
Okay, thank you so much, Rotarian Caro, our past president. I must say this event has really created a lot of emotions in me. That period when they were installing me, I was all the time interacting with my members, and I thought it was going to be something simple. But after the alumni came, and I see the impact that Rock has made in community, and the people who were speaking, and this moment comes, and they're installing me, it was overwhelming.
Wow.
And then also seeing you, I know you've forgotten, but I think the first time we interacted, it was online, where I was in the Rotary Club of Mulago. I was the PLD officer by then.
When I was in India.
Yeah, I remember we called you, and then you gave us a very nice session.
Yes.
Here we are.
Wow.
I think 5 years, and
oh my God! Oh my God! I didn't know that.
More than 5 years, and
yes, it is. Yes.
So
it's actually 6 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm mad. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jerry! Congratulations! I would never have remembered. I don't think I would. Oh my God, that's a long time ago. Oh my God, yes. Because I also interviewed the RI president online then. That was one of those RI president interviews that I did online. He was Indian, but I was in India. Wow.
So yeah, 6 years later,
yes,
we're meeting physically.
We're meeting physically.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Wonderful to meet you. See the power of Rotary.
Yes.
Wow. So I want to understand, what's your journey going to look like? What is that you anticipate to do this year? I mean, I know that there's a lot of expectations. We've had so many people talking about what they expect from Rotary, how Mother Club wants you to work with them. There are different things, but what is it that Jerry wants to see for the Rotaract Club of Kampala Central?
Yeah, during the installation, different people gave speeches, and I think one of the most outstanding things was about the power of collaboration.
Yes.
And for the time I've been around, I've realized that some things are changing, okay? Rotaract clubs are doing big things.
Yes.
Previously, I think it's only Rotary clubs that would build schools and do what, but then we're having Rotaract clubs doing that. For my club now, our Rock. We have a school in Kasese. We want to build a toilet, we want to build girls' dormitories, like safe areas for them.
Oh my God, that's huge.
They don't have a library.
Yeah.
We want create for them a library. But we decided to start with a toilet because they have one dilapidated building, and this is where the girls go, where the boys go, and just one other small room where the teachers share. So we feel this is really not safe for them as a school, especially for the girl child. If they're during their, the period, they're in the moment when they feel like they need a little bit of privacy. Where do they go? They can't share this with the boys. So we felt like this was so pressing. So we intend to continue and work on that toilet. And the other project we're embarking on, we went into a partnership with Makerere University, that's the Lang Institute. They're celebrating 10 years of existence, and they have a lot of community outreaches. So we've already collaborated with them. What are they giving us? They're giving us their human resource personnel. So we're going to do nationwide screening of people for lung diseases in the different communities,
That's
mainly
a wonderful
Kampala.
initiative.
And to make it more collaborative, we'll bring other Rotary clubs on board in other districts where we are not, such that they're able to take up this initiative, and we help our community. That's one of the big projects we have coming up in this particular Rotary area. We have Ebenezer Children's Home. This is a rehabilitation center where they take children gotten off the streets, and they take them here. It's a school. They teach them skills. They have gardens. They farm, and over the years we've always gone there every year. Whenever you should come and join them.
I will.
You should
I will.
come. Like
I definitely
these
will.
people, when immediately we reach like this, immediately see our cars. They all come dancing. It's beautiful.
Wonderful.
It's beautiful. And the past years we've given them silos for their food storage because they told us they have that challenge.
Yes.
So they do the gardening, but they don't know where to keep the food. We gave them silos. They don't have clean water. So 2 years ago we gave them a water tank.
Yes.
However, we realized that even with the water tank, they don't have clean water.
Clean water.
So
they need filters.
So they need filters. So that's what we're embarking on. We want to operationalize these filters in these schools. We have a pump for them to pump water from underground, goes to the filter. It makes the water safe for drinking, and then they're able to take it.
Wow.
And then the other things, the other projects are mainly collaborative. We already have, we've touched base with 2 Rotary clubs across Uganda. We have Tema Meridian from Ghana.
Wow.
So we intend to join them for their project. And they also
I was actually going to ask you, with the privilege you have with the Rotary president being in your club, I think it would be very good for him to link you up with other Rotary clubs. It gives you a very good visibility for international project sittings. You use this opportunity now than when he's gone and left the country and gone to, the position has gone to another country. I think it would be very nice for you to use that position now.
Yeah. The Rotary Africa president has really done, and he has really pushed us to really get these partnerships, Alan Lukoda. And of course, we have Tema Meridian from Ghana. They'll be joining us for our projects. We shall be joining them.
As well.
This is ROC expanding beyond Uganda.
I want to ask you a question, and this is more still to do with international relations. I happen to have been able to interact with the Rotary clubs in the UAE. They don't have projects. They don't have, their Rotary clubs are non-existing almost. The Rotary clubs are for children of Rotarians. And so I was speaking to a Rotarian there, and they said, well, they would be very interested in this, working with Rotary clubs, Rotarians and all that. And I have a contact I'll gladly share with you. But what is so interesting is when I explain that, we do medical camps. When we do medical camps is what we do. And I think the opportunity that President Lokodo gives you is that international linking with other clubs that do almost the same thing as you. But then there's the need for you to fundraise. which comes from the partnership of other international clubs. So that's something that you can look at. But let's talk about global grants. Is the Rotary Club of Kampala Central, the ROC, ready for global grants?
Oh,
Yeah?
definitely. Our immediate past president, Gladys, she really did a great job. As we speak, we qualified for global grants.
Okay.
As we speak, our mother club, Rotary Club of Kampala Central, they'll be having a program of scale, and we're going to work with them this coming year.
Wonderful.
And it's a global grant, so we are going to be working together with them. And this year, we're not going to stop at only qualifying for the global grants. We are going to apply for them.
Apply for them.
And that's where our Africa president, Lokola, comes in
To help the
us
mentorship,
identifying our international partners, and to expand the reach of ROC
Wonderful.
beyond the borders of Kampala.
My final question to you, President, what is that you want your club members who are watching the show right now to remember as they work with you throughout the year? And I know that you were able to introduce your board. What is it that you're telling your board and your members? What is that you want them to do for you to excel as president? For us to be able to collect awards at the end of the district, the year.
Yes, so in my kind of leadership, I'm the type of a leader. I really want to see the best out of everyone.
Yeah.
And every time I'm interacting with my members, I always tell them, I want you to give your best without breaking your back.
Okay.
Because times I recognize, I understand we are not all at the same level.
Yes.
We earn differently. We are at different levels of professional growth. But if I'm able to inspire each and every member in our club to give their best without feeling overwhelmed, that's the path I'm choosing. And I always tell them, we can always do this. And I know we're going to do it. We're going to do it. You don't have to go far and beyond. Look within your own community. What can we do? Today, as before the installation, I was talking with a member, and I was like, okay, you have a community. What do you think we can do in the community? And they were like, okay, I think my community, I deal with teens. I think you guys can come and talk to them. So I really want to empower our members. I'm empowering my members to make impact within their own communities. In doing so, they'll feel that they are contributing actively to the club. They are contributing to the community. When they go back to the community and they say they are part of the Rotary Club of Kampala Central, the ROC, they know what ROC has done through them. That's what I like.
And that's the president of the Rotary Club of Kampala Central, 2025-2026, the 30th president of the ROC. Thank you very much, Jerry. Congratulations on taking that very heavy chain, and I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
I am so proud to belong to the Rotary Club of Kampala Central. I was going to say the ROC. I remember fighting for that name when somebody wanted to take it. And they were calling themselves rockers. I was like, do you know where we came from to call ourselves ROC? Anyway, this is not a speech, it's a final toast. And for all of you who have been here, I know you've enjoyed yourselves. This is a club that has vibe and will always have vibe. Never to call to tear. So I'm going to ask everybody to stand up for the final toast. For a lovely, lovely celebration of 30 years of leadership, wonderful fellowship, and amazing love and fellowship shared amongst all of us. For a wonderful 30 years that we have had as people in Rotary, not just as Rotractors, but as partners for Rotary. For a wonderful 30 years that we've seen leadership exchanges through just a chain, and where we see the life of Rotary grow from Rotract. For the amazing faces I see here, and for all of you who have made it tonight to come and celebrate with us the 30 years of leadership. I give you Rotary International.